Today I'm going to be using amazing mold putty and amazing casting resin to make some appliques. We started making appliques about 4 years ago and selling them on our website, but I couldn't keep up with that demand that our website has now, so I'm going to show you how to make them from scratch. So you can get both of these products at jamirayvintage.com. We've got them on the website now. To start out, I'm going to take this detail here, pull it off this frame that I really like, mold it, cast it, and then apply that to this shelf. Now, in case you forget, the instructions are on the back of the box, but I'm gonna start out, when you open this up, make sure you got gloves on. These are 2-part chemicals. So this is going to essentially form a silicone mold that you can use to cook in. It's food safe once it's cured. You can cook up to 300 degrees with these, and it's awesome if you're like a baker or into making cake or candies with sugar. To start out, I've just got 2 portions of each side, the yellow and the white, and I don't think I'm gonna need that much, and it doesn't dry out right away on you. I'll put that back in the case. So I'm gonna get this in a round little ball, and I want them to be pretty equal parts, as close as you can. And then once you've got that, you can start mushing them together. And you want to mush them together until it's all yellow. You don't want to see any of the white. That's how you know you've got it mixed in well enough. You've got about, I'd say, probably 5 minutes to work with this and get it in position. And then after that, it takes about 10 minutes to cure. Depending on your humidity, might take a little longer. But it sets up pretty quick once you mix the 2 parts. Looks like I don't have any white left, so I'm going to get it into a ball. Okay, I'm trying to get all the creases out of it. I'm pushing pretty good as I'm rolling. That way I don't have any wrinkles or creases on the inside. All right, now that I've got my putty mixed up and most of the creases out, I'm gonna just press it into about a 1/4 inch shape right here along. If I wanted to mold this whole thing, I go all the way around the corner. And this works for dressers or anything with detail on it. It stretches a little, so if you don't have it quite where you want it, you can pull it out a little bit. So now that I've got it stretched out, I'm just gonna press this down into all these little creases everywhere there's detail. That way it picks up the detail from that. And you don't wanna mush it around. You don't wanna like mush it around because that'll ruin your detail. You just wanna press down in. Now that that's mushed in, I'm gonna let that sit probably for about 10 or 15 minutes. Then I'm gonna just come back and check a little edge to make sure it's solid and rubbery. And once that's done, it'll peel up pretty easily. And if you rip a little hole, like let's say I push too much and rip a little hole, you can mix more back up, just a little, like a little pinch. You mix this up and fill your spot. And I'll do this too to like cap off an edge where I'm worried the resin might run out, or what I'll use it for is to level it out so that when I'm pouring it, it's not rocking all over the place. So I got a little bit of a thin spot right here. I'm just gonna add this to it. Okay, now I'm gonna let that sit. We'll let it sit. All right, it's been about 10, 15 minutes, somewhere in there, and I'm just going to carefully peel this off. All right, so it didn't leave anything on the original, but now I've got this fun detail in here that I can pour resin in, or paper clay, or even just like molding clay, and it'll hold that shape. All right, so you can see I'm working on a silicone mat here. This is just one that you can use for cooking. If you're going to be using the resin on it, keep it separate from your cooking stuff. You don't want to get that in there. Same with your mold. If you're going to be using it with food, don't put the resin or any other products in there. Just use it with food. Make another one of these if you need to. So if you don't have this, I like to use wax paper. For a long time, I just used a scrap piece of cardboard on here, and that worked great to keep the resin and things off my counter. So what I've got here, I've just got 2 separate pieces. I'm gonna mix up just a little bit more of this mold putty, and I'm gonna use it to stabilize my mold. That way everything's not running all over the place, and I'm gonna try to level it out so that when I pour, I get a nice even pour. So I'm just gonna take a little pinch of this here, prop it up right there. That looks a little high. Maybe rock it back just a little bit this way. Let's say I needed to cap this end off. I probably won't pour it as deep as it is because I don't want to get this piece or this piece in here. What I'll do, because I'm not going to get this whole flower detail at the end, is I'll just leave that like that. Maybe put another piece up under here to reinforce it further so it doesn't tip when I pour the resin in. So I'll let that set up about another 10-15 minutes and then we'll get to the resin part. All right, my mold is all set up and it's time to pour the resin. So I've just got the amazing casting resin. It sets up white when it's done, and this has a really fast cast time. You can stir it up and work with it for 2 to 3 minutes and then demold it in 5 to 15 minutes. And the smaller the piece, the longer it's going to take. If you have a big piece that you're trying to cast, that's going to set up faster because the reaction happens faster with more material. When you open the box, you're going to have measuring cups in there. Side A and a side B. The B is yellow. You want to use equal parts of both. Just like the molding putty, you want to use equal parts of the casting resin. Also in your box are full instructions if you forget or don't like the way I'm explaining it, and all the safety information as well, and 2 stir sticks. So what I like to do is I like to set everything out in front. You know, I got my lid for my side B, my lid for my side A. I've got 2 separate measuring cups and I'm gonna pour identical amounts. It's got cc's and milliliters on the side of the cup here. I don't think this little mold is gonna take a ton of resin because this side isn't going to get completely filled up. So one thing that I forgot to mention earlier, if you want to know how much resin you're going to need to fill up your mold, you can easily fill it with water, dump that into a measuring cup, and then that's how much you're going to need between the 2 parts, part A and part B. Oh, let's say I'm gonna go 10 cc's to start, and we'll see if that's enough. If it doesn't fill your mold up, you can always re-pour over the top of it again. Now equal parts of this here. Now you can get fancy stir cups and things. This is just a Dixie sample cup that you can get. I get mine from Costco, like 300 of them at a time. You may not need that much. Plastic solo cup would work if you got something like that. So just drain both sides in. Okay, side B with side B, side A with side A, that way I don't get them mixed. Okay, and then stir them up. And I stir clockwise and then I stir counterclockwise, and I'm scraping the bottom the whole time, that way they get fully mixed. I do this for about 30 or 40 seconds. You want it to be mixed up really well, otherwise it won't set up right and you'll have oily spots that never dry out. Alright, so that filled my mold up pretty well, and I'm getting a little over pour here. Sometimes I have to come in the first pour and prop it up a little bit. I'll use my stir stick to drag that away where I didn't want it. You got a little bit of time to work with it. So the next time I pour this, I know I need to raise that end up, so I'll put a little of putty on that one. But the first pour, you know, you're always guessing. Like this one here, you can see I've had to add feet and things because it just wasn't even. I pulled this off of an old buffet, and this took about 1.5 packages. They come in 2/3 of a pound, so 1 1/3 pounds, give or take, to make this. This is a much larger one, but now I've had it. I've poured hundreds of these from the one mold. We're gonna let this sit. It takes 5 to 15 minutes, and you can see it already starting to react. It's turning white. That means I got it stirred up good because it's going to start hardening already, and that should not take very long to harden up. When it's all done, it'll be a solid white. You can dye it. I don't recommend it on these because it's hard to get the ratios right on such a small pour, but if you wanted them to be black or brown or whatever, you can get those dyes and dye this resin. It is time to demold this. It's as easy as just kind of flexing the edges. You don't want to wait too long. Once it sets up, you want to pull it out, because if it keeps setting up, what happens is it'll start to really grab the details in your mold. So that's not super clean, right? right here on the end where it was thin. So what I'll do is I'll take a knife and cut that along that edge right there. And if I was gonna be making 100 of these, I would remold that so that that's nice and clean and level it out a little more, maybe even make 3 or 4 of them. That way I'm not having to trim this every time. But since I'm only making 2 right now, it'll be all right. I'm all done pouring the resin, the mold is made, so now I need to attach my castings just right here, and we're gonna dress this little shelf up, give it something fun. Our favorite thing to use on appliques to attach them to things is E6000 glue. It works really well, it dries fairly quickly, it's industrial grade, it can handle a little bit of heat. The glue color on this is white, it comes in clear, there's a black version, all of them stick really, really well. And I'm just gonna build up a bead right here down the center of it, all the way down. And if I wasn't going to be painting this, I would leave them, like let's say I had dyed this, I would probably leave it clear with the clear, but this is gonna get painted over so that it matches. Okay. Now I'm just gonna let those sit. There's enough gravity here that'll hold them on. If you've got a so to hold these in place, I'm not gonna use anything. Gravity's gonna work on this since I can lay it flat. But let's say you had like a big vertical cabinet or something like that. What you wanna do is you can get some painter's tape or something, put your glue on the applique, tape them up on there to hold the applique on. Once it's set, you can pull that tape off and they'll stay just fine. Also, you can use little clamps, or if you have a long space, you can use a big clamp. But I prefer the painter's tape. I think it works really well. The nice thing about this resin, let's say you have a rounded surface that you want to cover. Even after these are set, you can put them in the microwave for 30 seconds at a time, warm them up. That plastic will soften up a little bit. Not a ton, they're still a little brittle once they're hard, but it'll soften up enough that you can get it to apply to a rounded surface, and that's awesome. While we're waiting on the glue to dry on that little shelf with the drawer that I'm putting those appliques on, I just wanted to show you this old clock that we've got. We've had it for years, and I don't know if you guys recognize this, but I used this mold putty to make a mold of this applique that's on here, or onlay. Some people call them an onlay. But this detail here, I captured it perfectly with the mold putty, and I've made hundreds of these. We used to ship these on the website, and I'm not doing anything fancy. This is the mold I used to make hundreds of appliques with. And it's held up really well. It holds the detail. And if you've got something in your house that you love and you want to put it on another piece of furniture, do it. It's awesome. All right, it's time to paint this back up. I've got a leftover can of DIY paint in Bohemian Blue, and Jamie added a little bit of white swan to this, so this isn't a true Bohemian Blue color. She just wanted it to be a little bit softer. And I've got my Paint Pixie brush. This is the 1 1/4. It's really good for details, but big enough I can get good coverage with my paint over the piece. I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of this painted up, and I'll distress it a little bit. I like the DIY paint because it's thick enough that I can, if I got a little gap or something, I can push it up underneath the applique, and you can't even tell that I glued it on there. It looks like it's been there forever. All right, so it's time for some DIY white wax to really make the details pop on these appliques. Now I'm gonna do the whole piece, and then I'm gonna wipe it back before it's dry. I'm not gonna let it sit on there because I got a lot of white wax on here. All right, so don't worry about those spots back here. I'll be able to get those with the rag. I'm gonna get some wax on my rag first. This is just a microfiber lint-free rag that I'm using, but just kind of want to wipe it off. I haven't let it sit at all. I just went straight to wiping it as soon as that was done. You can kind of see the wax hanging in on all those details, and that's going to really make that detail and applique pop on there. By putting wax on the whole piece, it really just kind of ties it all in together. So if you're flipping furniture and you want to add some special detail to set your pieces apart, Or if you've got some really fun detail on something in your home that you love and you want to kind of upscale some of your other pieces, this is a really easy way to get a lot of fun detail and charm into a piece. All I used was the amazing mold putty and the easy casting resin. Once you've got the molds, you can just make them over and over and over, as many as you want. And like I showed you before, I've got these fun ones that we can put on anything. So to get the mold putty and the easy cast resin, go to jamirayvintage.com. You can also find the DIY paint there, as well as the paint pixie brushes and the wax. If you like this video, share it. Let's get people molding all the things. Let's start casting. It's a lot of fun to do and it's pretty simple. Be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more DIY.